Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. All right. So, prayers out to Greg Popovich. We had some type of a medical emergency at a restaurant last night. It circles around the media right now. So, they said he was stable, doing well at home. So that's what we want to hear for the best of that possible scenario. But man, prayers out there. So yeah, that is where I wanted to start. But this is more about the Los Angeles Lakers, particularly our GM Rob Pelinka. We gave him an extension, and I'm not really sure what the framework on the extension is, but I know that it's been signed and it's done. So congratulations to him, and congratulations to us, because if he can keep making deals like that, keep finding ways of getting Luka at half price, there ain't no reason for us to let him go for any reason. In fact, we need to hurry up and keep him before somebody else snatches him up. And there's a lot of teams who are going to be needing a GM real soon. So yeah, I know that there's been a lot of criticism about him, and I've had my own set of things that I've said, but ultimately he didn't make any of the poor decisions that I was concerned he would make as it pertains to our picks. We definitely were happy to part with the pick for Luka Doncic in that trade, when there was only Anthony Davis to pick and Max Christie being sent out. Clearly, that's worthy of sending out first round pick. So I wasn't gonna have anything but positive things to say about that. My criticism of him is getting the other players at times, but he seemed to be doing a pretty good job of that, getting Dorian Finney-Smith, the trade I didn't initially agree with, but ultimately brought us a great catch and shoot player that really fits what we have now, especially with Luka in place as one of his friends. So that was a much more valuable trade after Luka was made to me than it was before, and I thought it was a good piece to kind of fit what we are going to ultimately need in these playoffs. So I think we'll see what happens going forward in building around Luka Doncic. Making sure that we attract the players that on the contracts that will continue to keep us in a position to contend. I think us negotiating the way that we did with Austin Reeves is a standout. That was a very, very good contract for the Los Angeles Lakers. You also look at the contract of Rui Hachimura, and a lot of people feel great about that one. I would like to think we had learned from some mistakes, though, because there were some mistakes made along the way, including giving out way too many team options, or rather player options, excuse me, that have really kind of put certain problems in place that ultimately I think we've fixed since. But nevertheless, that was something that put a real monkey wrench and some criticism on Rob Pelinka. So it hasn't been all roses, but I think when you pull off the trade and the heist of the century for Luka Doncic, and then you move on from D'Lo and bring in such a valuable piece in Dorian, I think a lot of people are going to feel great about you. So I don't think it's anybody really upset about this. There are things that we didn't love, but when you bring in Luka Doncic, all is great. All is great, and a lot is forgiven and forgotten. And so that's kind of how I feel about this. I like his conservative nature with picks, although we only have one left, and I don't mind moving on from it in this situation. As long as we can have what it makes up for it in place, I feel good. And I feel like with Luka in place, especially for what we traded him for, or traded for to get him, obviously puts us in a position to feel a lot better about our franchise health, as I often talked about on this channel prior to the Luka trade. Not so much necessary to talk about it anymore, because I think we're pretty damn healthy. I would still try to look for discounts, still try to look for diamonds in the rough, still try to look for fantastic pieces that are valuable in nature, because you always want to have enough ammo to pull the trigger on different deals that ultimately make your team better around the margins, particularly knowing that LeBron is moving on at some point. We're going to need to be able to make up the difference in his absence as it pertains to him likely retiring in our uniform. So there's a lot of things that still have to be figured out. But Rob Pelinka, having made the Luka trade, I think people feel a lot better about him being able to get that done. I really like the idea that he can make the big trade. He can pull off getting big names. I don't know if small names is his forte, although I think he's done an okay job, better than an okay job as of late. Overall, I think he's been a pretty decent job at that. But when you're the Los Angeles Lakers, you definitely want to be able to get the superstars and the top role players, bigger names. You want to be able to land those guys. And I think that Rob Pelinka has proven that he can land those guys. So he's the right guy for the job as far as I can tell. And now it's just about getting Luka Doncic to sign on the dotted line, man. And I don't know if there's anything you withhold Luka as it pertains to, trying to negotiate with him. I don't think you draw a hard line with that dude, especially since his value to you as a franchise is also very obvious. When you consider he and LeBron James being Lakers, that's the number 1 and number 3 jersey sold this season. I mean, you can't put a price tag on that. We have double the superstars that some teams have. Teams that would love to have one of those guys, we got 2 of them. So the opportunity for Jeanie Buss to make a lot of money in the future is suddenly in place just off the strength of those 2 deals. So for me, I don't doubt that we're in a great spot franchise health-wise. And I don't doubt that this is one of the most lucrative franchises in the world and will be going forward. Part of me wonders if it's crossing Jeanie's mind to sell the team. Well, and I know that's going to sound crazy to a lot of y'all, but to business people, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Is it ever going to be more valuable than it is right now with LeBron and Luka in place? I don't know if it's ever going to be more valuable than it is right now, because you have 2 superstars that are going to garner so much attention. Now, I could argue you can get more superstars too, but when you have LeBron James in place, you're already doing great. But then you bring Luka Don in place, and now all of a sudden you can break records with the type of money this team can make over the next 3 years. So I don't think she's going to sell the team. I don't believe that this is about money as it pertains to her name being attached to this team. I mean, it's a Buss family business. But I could argue that you could sell this team for a record amount of money this year, or this upcoming year. A record amount of money. I'm talking like $10 billion. Seriously. And you could probably really, really cash out on the Los Angeles Lakers while those 2 are still in uniform. So it crossed my mind. I don't think I'd do it if I'm her, especially since I love the brand as a fan myself, and thinking of her. I think she loves the brand, grew up with it. It's her father's baby. A lot of memories, a lot of great things come with that. And there's a lot of money to be made going forward, I think, either way, whether you sell it or don't. But as far as if you were intending on selling it, I don't think it's a better time to do it than while these 2 are in the uniform. I don't think so. So that's just my point of view, but then I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong with the influx of money that could potentially be coming to the league over the next 10, 12 years. That could be totally off base. Totally off base. But yeah, that's just what I'm thinking when you consider the type of superstars we got in place. One has to wonder if it's crossing the owner's mind to make a move. If not sell the whole thing, sell a portion or something, I don't know. Might make sense. But yeah, man, I think the Lakers are in a space where they can feel great for the first time in a little bit, man. I don't doubt that we were happy when we won a championship, but that was the year Kobe passed away. It was tough. And we didn't really have a stable roster, even though a lot of people wanted us to run it back. That roster was just a little older than maybe you could consider running it back with for too much longer than that. So you knew you were going to head downhill, potentially, if you didn't make moves on value. Unfortunately, the moves that we made while on value the following year didn't really pan out on the basketball floor. So there were some rough times in between that. Even though we had Anthony Davis in place, felt great about being able to be a playoff team, but not maybe a championship squad until basically now. And so now we gonna start these playoffs tomorrow against the Minnesota Timberwolves. The GM has a new contract extension tied up. I'm not sure for how long. We'll see, but I'm pretty sure we're in a good space, and You know, I think we feel really stable. I think our coaching situation is as stable as it's been and probably since Phil Jackson left, man. Since Phil Jackson left, I don't think we felt better about a coach. And before Phil got here, I could argue JJ was better than a lot of the guys that came before him, Phil Jackson. So that is just what it is. And it's one of many reasons why I don't feel the need to talk about some of the same conversations we were having on this channel, because it was really about us not being in a great space and how we can get it in one. Well, we got in one. And so now we can talk about basketball, focus on the X's and O's a bit more, and that's really what it's truly all about for me. What I like to do is not focus on the team, but focus on the game itself. So, yeah, man, congratulations to Rob Pelinka. Congratulations to the Los Angeles Lakers. And, of course, we'll do homework on the Minnesota Timberwolves tonight and get back to you guys tomorrow, as we often do, with stats on the previous games that the Minnesota has played. And we will discuss, hopefully, strategy, as many others are. So that's pretty much what I got to say. My name is BDF44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.